Happy New You, What If Uppers. It's Mindy Odlin, and it is What If Wednesday, and I am so excited that today is the beginning of a new journey, a 23-week journey to be specific, into possibility, into vision, into your best case scenario. We are launching into a 23-week book study of what if it all goes right. Can you imagine? What if everything for you, everything in your life, your relationships, your finances, your career, your health, what if everything goes right? Can you imagine? Because if you can imagine it, then you can create it. Today is an introduction to where we're going. The book club starts next week with chapter 1. So if you do not have the book yet, this is your chance to pick up a copy. There's details below on how to do that. For those of you who are a member of the WhatIfUP Club, the book is there. It's free for all of our members, so you can download it and be ready to kick things off next week for chapter 1. Now, this is a book that it came out in 2008. And just so you know, like even before that, I've been teaching this process for about 20 years. In fact, it was around 2000, 2001. I was an entrepreneur, solopreneur. I was a motivational speaker on the college market and doing leadership retreats for college students. And I was struggling as trying to launch a business and not knowing what I was doing and feeling overwhelmed by it. And at that time, I connected with a group of women entrepreneurs. They were all studying the law of attraction, which at that time was like all new to me. I'd never heard of this law of attraction, Abraham Hicks type of thing. And every time we'd get together, we'd play this little what if game. And it was a way to elevate our energy, to really connect with the possibility of what we were doing and to get excited about it, to create possibilities on how we could move forward. And I loved the process. It felt really good. And I was seeing things happen in my own life. In fact, I loved it so much that I decided I wanted to take it into my college leadership trainings. And so I created this activity, kind of like an energizer or an icebreaker, as a way to kick off the retreat, to get everybody pumped up before we got into the real content. But what I found was there was something about this little activity, there was something about this little game that was so incredibly powerful that yes, it did lift the energy, and yes, it did set us on course for an amazing retreat experience, but it did something else as well. I was finding that at the end of the event, people were coming back to me and saying, I had some insights. Things have been coming to me. Things have been happening in my mind, my imagination. I've been problem solving. I've been coming up with solutions I hadn't thought of before. And then weeks later and months later, and sometimes years later, people would come to me and say, Mindy, you are not going to believe what happened to me after that what if circle. Amazing things. People that were manifesting their soulmates, traveling the world. I've had people overcome amazing things and share it with us in our WhatIfUP Club community. So I've seen things that really on the surface appear magical. After teaching this process for a few years, I realized I really wanted to understand why it worked. I knew that it worked, but I wanted to understand why it worked. What are the things that are happening in this little game, this fun little game that is creating such a transformational change in people's lives? And so I began studying that, and that became the basis of what is now the book, What If It All Goes Right? I was leading a spiritual community in the Texas Hill Country, and that's when I connected with Joe Vitale, who many of you know. He was in the movie The Secret. He's written tons and tons of best-selling books. We connected, and he said, hey, there's this new movie coming out, The Secret. And what do you think about doing a premiere of it, a preview of it at the church? I'm like, that'd be great. So he volunteered to come down, do a Q&A at the end of the movie. We filled up the sanctuary and watched the movie. On the day of the event, he had a little scratch in his throat. He said, how would you feel about like doing the Q&A with me? He's like, I just want to save my voice a little bit, and it'd be great to do this together. What do you think? And I was all in. That was the first time we ever presented together, ever did anything together. And it was absolutely electric. It was so much fun that afterwards Joe said, hey, you want to do a workshop on this? So we did this workshop, and I'm like, what can I bring? Joe brought all of his experience from The Secret into it. And I'm like, I'm going to bring that what if game. I'm going to bring that process. And that was the first time I shared the process with Joe Vitale. And he was like, there is something to this. Not long after that, I'm like, I think it's time for a book. And when I shared it with Joe, he was like, I was hoping you would say that. And he's been an incredible support. In fact, he wrote the introduction to the book. And now he is the president of the board for our nonprofit organization, the WhatIfUP Club. So that was the birth of the book. It came out around 2008, 2009. And now here we are, post-COVID. It's a different world and things are changing quickly and it can be overwhelming and it can be stressful. And you've got dreams and you've got things you want to create. And we want to do it in a way that is good for the planet and good for each other. And that's what we're here to do. What if it all goes right? What if the things that you want and the dreams that you have are good for you and good for the world? What if we create those dreams together? So that's where we're going as we head into this new year. 23 chapters of the book. Every week, I'm going to share with you a deep dive. I'm going to go deeper into the teachings in the book. There's some reflection questions each week that we're going to be using inside our WhatIfUP Club community. You can Q&A with me inside the community all month long. And then once a month, I'm going to do a live call with members of our WhatIfUP Club so that we can share wins, you can ask questions, we can go deeper. And we're also going to, each week, as we go through this book club, have a challenge, something fun, something active that you can do to take the ideas and the principles and put it into motion in a real way in your life and to have fun doing it. So dust your pom-poms off. It's time to get excited. We've got a journey ahead of us, and I am so excited that you are a part of it. This is your time to get ready. Invite your friends. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, comment, engage. Those are all ways that you can support this work and help us bring this work to the world. And most of all, we hope you'll connect with us inside the WhatIfUP Club so that we can really celebrate your progress with you, go deeper, and play together. It's going to be an amazing new year, and I'm so grateful that you are a part of it.